Hello everyone. So today I'm going to do a quick review, but also some tips for how to use the Club 3D, this Club 3D DisplayPort to DisplayPort 1.4 to HDMI 4K 120 Hertz HDR adapter uh, device. I got this on Amazon. I paid close to 90 bucks for it. It was pretty expensive. Uh, when this first came out because it was a bit of a hot item. A lot of people have been waiting to be able to take fully advantage of their 2019 LG OLEDs or their 2020 LG OLEDs so they could do 4K 120 hertz. Seeing as how um, currently, as of August 25th, there are no HDMI 2.1 enabled graphics cards out on the market. So, in order for you to be able to take full advantage of the bandwidth that your HDMI 2.1 port has on the LG 2019 OLEDs and 2020 OLEDs, you have to use this DisplayPort to HDMI adapter on your graphics cards. I play on PC, I don't play on console, so this is kind of a specialty case for PC users. The thing is, though, when you look online for reviews of this, some people will give you some positive reviews, but on Amazon, the majority of the reviews are completely negative. A lot of people were complaining that they had no signal, constant no signal dropouts, black screens, and that is true. I was having the same issue. Um, this adapter pretty much you might as well say you might as well consider it a prototype. Um, I guess so they won't get sued. It does do 4K 120. It will do 4K 120, but it doesn't allow. But don't expect to be able to take advantage of any of the variable refresh rate features your television has, such as G-Sync or FreeSync. The adapter won't allow you to do that. You'll just be able to do straight up 4K 120 hertz. That's it. But if you try to manipulate the signal in any way, if you try to change, for example, if you go into the Nvidia control panel here, and if you try to change anything with the signal, let's say you want to try to change this from RGB to any of these other formats, the screen will go black. And it will stay black until you get up and unplug the power cable, because this is powered by a as you can see in the image here, it's powered by a USB-C power cable. You would have to unplug that power cable, plug it back in order for your signal to come back. So if you to value your sanity and not have to keep getting up and doing that over and over and over again, there are some things you're going to have to do. So, like I said, my initial review, the adapter does work. It does give you 4K 120 hertz, but it does it poorly. If you change your resolution, if you change any of these parameters here, the signal will black out and it will stay gone until you unplug that adapter and plug it back in. I have a certified HDMI 2.1 cable. It's 6 feet. Uh, it's well within the parameters or specifications that it needs in order to be able to send that signal through. But as I was saying, it was giving me numerous signal dropout issues, and I couldn't see it. I couldn't see thing. I couldn't see a thing on my screen. It was just straight up black. Couldn't see nothing until I got up from my chair and have to unplug that power cable. So if you change your resolution, if you try to turn on Nvidia DSR to try to get higher resolutions, if you try to do anything, GPU scaling, if you try to mess with any of this stuff, the image would stay out. The image will conk out and it will stay out until you got up and unplugged that cable and plugged it back in. So, as advertised, it does a very poor job of doing the 4K 120 hertz without having to have a signal dropout. Because, like I said, if you do anything, change the resolution, anything, this thing would conk out and it would stay out until you got up and unplugged the power and plugged it back in. I was about to return the device completely. I was trying to return the device, but in order to return the device, since I'm here in America, then I got this device was from Amazon from UK. In order for me to return the device, I couldn't find nobody that would be able to return pay the shipping costs for a cheap price. So I ended up just keeping it. It was just cheaper to keep the thing. And it was just going to sit in a box, and I was probably going to sell it on eBay or something because I really didn't have no use for it. Then one day, a thought came to me, and I said, hey, instead of trying to do this whole 4K 120 thing, what if I just tried to just stick to 60 hertz? Let me just stick right along to 60 hertz like I've been at, but try to do. Let's see if it'll alleviate some of the problems I was having at 60 hertz. See, without this adapter, when I was just using straight HDMI from my graphics card into my display here, I have an LG B9 display. The every time I try to do HDR, um, I could only do HDR if at 10-bit if I opened this up and switched over to YCVCR 422 or 420, one of the compressed signal formats. Then I can get up to 10-bit color. 12-bit color was still was still pretty much out of reach. And even then, when I used Nvidia DSR to play at higher resolutions, all the way up to 8K, it would not work. It would not work. I would have weird colors and stuff on my screen, even if I used YCBCR 420. It would still give me weird colors and stuff on my screen. It would not work. So these were a lot of issues I had with just using straight HDMI to my television. It didn't support enough bandwidth because the HDMI ports on this 2080 Ti graphics card I have is only HDMI 2.0B. So I'm still limited by bandwidth considerably when trying to do certain things. So because of that, I said, you know what? Let me go back and hook this adapter cable up and see if I can fix some of these issues. See if I can if I use it straight up as a regular 60 hertz device, will I not run into any of the problems I was having before? And long story short, it was a success. If you use the device as a straight up 4K or 8K 60 device or lower, you can do HDR, 10-bit, 12-bit color, no problem. It's not going to give you some issue. It's not going to give you any issue. I mean, you will run into some issues here and there, but nowhere near as bad as if you use this device in its default manner. But there are some things you're going to have to do first in order to be able to take advantage of that. All right, and that is, once again, you have to delete some resolutions. You got to delete some resolutions out of your EDID. That's the handshake information that is shared between your graphics card and your display. You're going to have to delete some resolutions out in order to just see this as a native 4K device. Also, there was some overscan issues. That's why you see these little asterisk marks here, because I had to fix the overscan issue I had by using this resize function. My screen just went black, and I had to slightly adjust the borders of my display to fix this issue, because it was slightly cut off, so there was some slight overscan issues with this adapter. But after I just adjusted these sliders, I was able to fix that. When you change resolutions and when you change display formats and stuff, it will conk out. In fact, it just changed just now on me. I don't even know if this is going to affect my recording, because I'll have to do it again. But yeah, I can get 8-bit color, 10-bit color, 12-bit color. I can get all those things just fine. Yeah, but let me go back to native 4K. Change that resolution back to where I had it. My screen went black right now. I have no signal, but it'll come right back. I just hope it does not mess up my recording too bad. Oh, it did not. It did not change. See, I knew I shouldn't have touched that, because it gets really finicky when you're recording. Okay, there we go. So yeah, these work just fine now. But let me tell you what you have to do. When you first hook this DisplayPort adapter up to your graphics card, you are going to see some resolutions in here that is going to affect you. it's going to cause a lot of issues. First things first, you have to make this just a pure 60 hertz capable device. You don't want to do anything dealing with 120 hertz because it just acts crazy. So what you have to do is you have to use this fun little program that I probably mentioned in my previous videos, Crew Custom Resolution Utility. It's a free program. Just download it on the net. When you run this program, it will allow you to manipulate the EDID information within your graphics card to delete stuff out that you don't need. So when you first open this up, it's going to look like this. Let me load up the default profile. All right. So when you first open up Crew, this is what it's going to look like inside. All right. It's going to look, these are all the television resolutions you're going to have available to you. You see this resolution 4096 by 2160? You got to delete that crap out, man. You got to delete these resolutions out. As you can see, you got 120 hertz, 100 hertz. You got all these, fun little resolutions, but you got to delete that out because 4096 by 2160 is the cinema resolution for 4K. And when you try to do things such as Nvidia DSR, Nvidia DSR allows you to render things at a higher resolution to down to, let's say you want to play a game at 8K. Nvidia DSR, which you activate here in the Manage 3D settings, it will basically allow you to allow your graphics card to render games at a higher resolution, like 8K, 5K resolution, whatever you want, and then it will scale those down to the native resolution of your display before sending that signal out through your HDMI port or DisplayPort in this case to your television. So it's going to render everything at 8K, scale it back down to 4K or whatever the native display of your resolution is. If you have 1080p display, it'll do that, and then it will send that that image out through your HDMI port to your display so it's going to look like a 4K image. Your display is going to see it as a 4K image or a 1080p image, whatever that native image that your display supports. It's going to see it as that, but it's actually rendered down from a far high quality, higher resolution. All right. Well, this works completely off your native resolution of your display. So if your native resolution of your display is 4096 by 2160, which is what's in here, then you're going to get completely totally wrong resolutions appearing here from the dynamic super resolution list. It's going to be totally wrong resolutions that are going to appear here. So you also you have another feature called scaling resolution. This is a feature with that they added in GPU scaling with RTX cards, and what this does, this will also create some extra resolutions that are below your display's native resolution that it can then upscale back to the display's native resolution. These will be wrong too because they will be working off whatever the native resolution of your display is. And once again, if you don't use Crew to delete this 4096 by 2160 resolution out, it's going to be using that as your native resolution, and it's going to be giving you all wrong information. So the first thing you need to do is run Crew, and you need to delete any resolution out of here that is not 3840 by 2160. And you also need to delete 3840 by 2160 at 120 hertz or 100 hertz. You don't want to do any high refresh rates content with this adapter. It's not going to work correctly. If you it's bugged, it's broken, okay? So don't get this adapter if you want to do 4K 120 hertz. It's not worth it, man. You're going to have signal dropouts. It's not going to work. And you're going to have to keep getting up to unplug the power cable from the adapter and plug it back in. Just use it as a straight up 60 hertz device. Delete all of these resolutions out. So and hertz out. So anything that's 4096 by 2160 has to go. And anything that's 3840 by 2160 at 120 hertz or 100 hertz, all that has to go. When you're done deleting that, and you have to search in other areas too, like HDMI support. Look, here it is right here. Delete it out. Delete anything that's 4096 by 2160 out of here. When you are done, your EDID should look like mine. This is how mine looks. It should look like this. You know, go ahead and edit TV resolutions, edit. As you can see, this is how mine looks. The highest resolution is just 3840 by 2160 all the way up to 60 hertz. That is the only thing that is in here. All right. Also, fun tip: if you let's say you're not using this adapter and you want to add FreeSync into this TV, you just hit add, and there you go, FreeSync range. You hit that, and then you do 40 to 120 hertz, and boom, you added FreeSync into your LG C9 or B9 display, because LG they want to be difficult, and they don't want to update the 2019 OLEDs to support FreeSync Premium. Well, no worries. If you have an AMD graphics card and you want FreeSync, that's how you add it into your display right there. Anyway, so once you're done doing all that, you just simply hit OK. And then you hit Restart 64. When you do that, your screen's going to flash. And then when you come back, you will have 3840 by 2160 native as your, and it will only go up to 60 hertz as your, native supported resolution by this display. Then if you go do dynamic super resolution or scaling resolution or any of that stuff, it will generate the proper resolutions for you properly, and everything will be kosher. From there on, that's it. That's all you got to do, man. This is the best way to use this device, in my opinion. Do not use this adapter to do 4K 120 hertz. Once again, I've said this already. It will not work properly. Anything you do, HDR, whatever you do, if you try to change any of these settings, your screen is going to go out and it's going to stay out. It's not going to come back. So until you get up an power cycle that adapter, and that can get extremely annoying. If you change your resolution to anything other than 4K 120, your signal's going to go out. So don't do it. It's better to just use it as this. And when you do it as this, you can go up. You can play your games at 8K, 60 hertz, and get 10 or 12-bit color, and do HDR, and it works 100% fine. It works just fine. Another tip about HDR. This is something about HDR on PC that people don't seem to be talking about. And HDR on PC is bugged. I don't know if anyone knows this, but it's quite bugged. For example, when you activate HDR on your desktop here, there you go. When you hit play HDR games and apps and you hit this, when you activate HDR on your desktop, I can't activate it right now because I'm recording this video, and if I do it, it won't work. I don't know if anyone's ever experienced this, but when you activate HDR on your desktop, you notice that everything kind of looks washed out. And I was looking it up online, and somebody said, oh, if you adjust the contrast here to 100, it makes everything look normal again like it is in SDR. But another thing I noticed is that if you have your stuff set to RGB full or RGB limited, if you're using a television display like myself, but if you use RGB full, on your TV side, you have to set your HDMI black level to normal, so that way you have proper colors. And if you use an RGB limited, you have to set your television HDMI display black level to low. Well, when it comes to HDR, things are topsy-turvy. I found that if you have RGB full, you actually set things on your TV side to low, and your and HDR looks fine. It doesn't look, no longer looks washed out. It looks like SDR would look, proper black levels. I don't know if this is some type of bug. I'm pretty sure it is, but no one seems to be talking about it. But if you're using RGB limited on your television side and you're doing HDR set on your TV side, set your HDMI black level to low. It's supposed to be low, but you have to set it to normal. My bad. Set it to normal, and yeah, that will fix the HDR issues. It's weird. I don't want to get into it. I have to do another separate video on that. But anyway, that's what I wanted to tell you. I'm going to end this video now. Yeah, so good luck. Hope that helps you out, guys. That DisplayPort adapter it works phenomenally well if you're just trying to stick at 60 hertz. So if you're trying to do any sort of gaming, HDR gaming, all the way up to 4K 60, it works totally fine as that. But if you try to do 4K 120, it's going to give you a myriad of problems. So follow my instructions, download Crew, delete out any resolutions or refresh rates higher than 60 hertz, and only keep 3840 by 2160 as your native hertz, as your native, refresh rate. And you should be good. You'll be able to do HD, RGB, full range, or limited, whatever you prefer, all the way up to 12-bit color, and, live your best life, all right? That's all I got. It was fun talking to you guys. I'll try to do some more videos more often. I need to get off my butt and be more proactive. Anyway, see you later.